program I used to do called Ralph Radio on the old KGW. It's the last thing anyone heard on that radio station prior to it becoming whatever it is today. We went out that morning, 8:59, said goodbye, and let Volare play us into oblivion. 9:24, Hecktow.
I'm sorry.
Hecktow from Washington, D.C. with his pan flute playing along with Wayne.
You play Wayne, I can't help
You
but
can't
to
help
just feel happy as some sort of thing that's extremely happy. Good evening from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
I'm so glad you called in. We were expecting a phone call from somebody in Washington, D.C.
Yes,
You are back there celebrating the inauguration of George W. Bush as our 43rd president. What have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot of drunk Republicans.
First time they've been drunk, so they're dangerous.
Yes, but they didn't bring their guns, so that's good. I'm standing on the corner of, this would be 3rd and 8th, and I got it.
It's probably third. It's probably 3rd and K Street. Aren't you at 3rd and K?
No, I think that's an 8. Or I don't know. It's a hard town to get around in.
Yeah, it is.
But it's fun. Anywhere there's a party and anywhere there's Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Who's jumping on the plane and going?
You are.
Scream my name. Scream it.
Hecktow.
There you go, Mama. So anyway, we're looking for the big party. If you heard, of course, the big capper party to the whole inaugural festival, really.
Right.
Is I think it's happening Saturday night. Black tie and boots. You heard of this?
Black tie and boot. Oh, yeah, sort of a
tuxedo.
Right.
With cowboy boots. Because, of course, he's from Texas.
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. There's a Texas barbecue gala. There's as I understand it, there's of course the black tie and boots. There's also, I can't say that.
Come on.
There's a gala called Execute Me. That's going to be going on at the Pickley Hotel, which is going to be a pretty popular one, too.
Yeah. I can't believe you said bush bashing on the air.
Bush bashing? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've been accused of bashing Bush.
I'm sorry. You don't get me very often, but you got me that time.
All right. Do you have anything else, sir? Or
I have one. Just a very, very small thing.
Okay. You see, the practiced caller to a show hosted by Ralph Steadman knows what it takes to just ram the host, to come in and slam him to the ground. Hechtow's like a WCW caller. He's like a professional wrestler in the wheelchair wrestling. No, I'm telling you, Hecktow is like a caller who comes in with the club already raised, baby.
I'm sorry for bringing this up.
Uh-oh.
But I have a question because it's been driving me crazy.
Hey.
People magazine names Brad Pitt Sexiest Man of the Year.
Yes, and I
don't doubt People magazine. I know they know what they're talking about.
Sure, as far as sex goes.
Yeah. Well, Brad Pitt was the sexiest man alive 5 years ago.
That's right.
So here's my question.
Okay.
They say, Brad, you're the sexiest man alive. Next year they say, Brad, you're not so sexy anymore.
Somebody
5
else.
years later,
yeah.
Now he's the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, how does that work?
What did he do in those 5 years to improve his sexiness?
Yes.
Or B, did the ugly level of everyone else rise to the point where he's now the reigning champion again?
Right. Well, but we have to follow the trail. See, Brad Pitt 5 years ago, sexiest man alive. Who was the guy next? The next guy was like Harrison Ford. Or
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler, yeah. You got a good question there, Hecktow. Yeah, it does, and especially since they're your forebears, your blood, your your familius.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm not drunk.
You sound...
I am absolutely giddy with some sort of good feeling, and I can't seem to get over the hump. I can't get the top of the wave. I can't get people excited with me.
Scary. You're interesting.
You know, the Antichrist has been mentioned today, and I'm glad you called, Hecktow, because you would be...
And it's the Zoloft speaking, by the way.
Yeah. You would be one of those people I'd want to ask this question of.
So,
the Hawaii ACLU members out there in Hawaii have compared Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to Hitler and then finally called him the Antichrist. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is the Antichrist. Is an Antichrist a Hitler?
Seems a bit harsh.
Having a serial murder debate the value of life. See, it does seem a bit harsh.
Yeah, and I would think if you were actually the Antichrist, you could pull some strings to get yourself a better gig than Supreme Court Justice.
Well, you'd think, and it's not too much of a place. It's not a very subtle place to kind of make rulings that affect in a negative way all people on the globe.
Yeah, because you're really not. You're just affecting...
a few folks who come before you, and then you take lunch. You go play golf.
Maybe you get abortion in term, but most likely you're talking about should the border between North and South Dakota be removed.
That's right. Or who's gonna test the ketchup and is it constitutional? I have though actual information from the internet. I have no reason to disbelieve, stating that among others, Barney the dinosaur is the Antichrist, Christina Aguilera is the Antichrist, David Hasselhoff is the Antichrist, and attributed to Jerry Falwell, Gary Coleman is the Antichrist.
Gary Coleman, I
from
thought
different strokes.
Definitely demonic. I wouldn't say full blown.
My favorite Antichrist has always been King Juan Carlos of Spain. He was told to be the Antichrist at one point.
I thought it was Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
And when I had my drug problem, I swear it was Tom Brokaw.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
Tom Brokaw.
And Generalissimo Francisco Franco was named as well.
He's still dead, by the way.
Thank you for that. Anything else, King of Sweden?
I'm just having some...
Queen.
Yeah. Tell me now.
You gotta pull the string on him.
I know.
He needs a stun collar.
Yeah, we need to get one of those. Maybe one of those electric fences that keep the deer out of gardens.
That would be great. And on that happy note, I say aloha.
Bye. Got him.
I think it was a mutual one.
The Ralph Steadman radio program on AM 860. And to our phones now. Hecktow, thanks for being so patient. I understand you're calling from Leeds, England.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
I can.
I got a little something on my line.
No, I can hear you just fine.
It must be my check.
Hello?
Check.
Hello?
Symbolist.
Is this on?
That's better.
Hello.
How are you?
Dandy, and thanks for calling from England. I did want your update as to what the heck the Queen is up to.
Well, let me say something first.
Wringing the neck of a peasant.
That your guest number one gave some advice.
Yes.
I can say from experience, do not try eating 24 pounds of chocolate to duplicate the effects of marijuana.
Have you tried that before?
I'm not stoned, but I'm twitching like a spider monkey on crack.
Uh-oh. So you're into it. You've gone through the wall at about 17 pounds.
Oh, God. I'm surrounded by horrible, menacing vibrations.
Hecktow in Tallahassee.
My back is killing me.
Why?
I got this horrible leather couch.
Yeah?
And it's not the leather. It's just the poor...
Oh, the poor construction.
Yeah, it looks great, but man, it's throwing stuff out.
It's a real leather, or is it Naugahyde?
It's real leather. Yeah, and I got the guy told me it's a white leather. I'm a black leather guy.
Well, and frankly, leather isn't white, man.
Well, and
it's actually brown.
I don't know what they do to it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But he said, you can clean it with everything.
The framing is what's really important in your good couches.
That's true. But can I finish?
I'm sorry.
He said, whatever you do, don't get ballpoint pen on it. And I said, that's fine. I don't, use ballpoint pen.
What kind of pen do you use?
Well, this one's a ballpoint. But in the past, and now I've got it, and he's right.
Yeah,
Bon Jovi, I can't get it out. And I'm so happy. And I have a question that you can give Gary Conley?
Condit. Gary Conley is a financial advisor in the city of Eugene, Oregon.
Well, I would like to ask him, as a child actor, was it a lot of pressure being on the set of Different Strokes? And
Wait a minute.
What?
He was on the set of Different Strokes. What character did he play?
He was Arnold.
He was Arnold on Different Strokes?
Yeah.
I think, Hecktow, and I don't want to step on your toes here. You may indeed be right, but I think that guy's name was Gary Coleman, now a security guard, a short black man. It wasn't Gary Condit. It was Gary Coleman.
What is Gary Coleman doing with an intern?
No. Gary Coleman did not have an intern. He was a security guard and roughed up a fan, but that fan didn't work with him.
So why are you interviewing him?
I'm not interviewing Gary Coleman. I'm interviewing Gary Condit, Congressman Gary Condit.
The financial advisor?
No, he's in Eugene.
So no. How are you going to do the interview from Eugene?
I'm not going to be in Eugene. Frankly, the Ram is going to do the interview with Congressman Condit, having nothing to do with financial planning nor different strokes.
Is this some sort of plot to confuse your listeners? Because does not sound like you.
It might be. Funky Hecktow.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
I'm going to eat some grape nuts. You ready?
Go ahead. I recognize that. I recognize that as being grape nuts.
I really need some milk.
Yeah, well, it's always good. They're a little
dry. That was
dry.
a good idea. Hang on 1 second.
Thank you, Yule Gibbons.
Yeah. Do you want me to put you on hold and go to our other callers while you get your milk?
Yeah, do that, please.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Uh-oh. What is it, man? What are you concerned about?
Do you have the second name up there?
Hecktow?
Okay, because the computer screwed up earlier, so...
Oh, yeah, I got Hecktow. I'm just a little concerned.
Why?
Well, he's combining a couple of topics here.
Yes.
And when he does that, it kind of really spirals out of control.
So to speak.
Hi, Hecktow.
You see where he's from?
I'm
Malala.
Are you talking to me?
Well, yeah, unless there's somebody else in the room named Hecktow.
How are you, my friend?
I'm very good.
You're killing me.
It's great to hear. Why?
You're killing me. Keep the pizza away from him. You're talking last hour with Bert and Ernie about the sports fantasy league.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm on one of these internet. It's called a fantasy radio station. And basically, what you do is you play the program director. And when your evening host has a stroke on the air, do you have any idea what that does to your rankings?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't know I was that involved.
I'm out at least $2,000. I've tried trading you this evening. The best I could get was Paul Harvey.
Oh, well, I can't imagine. I mean, my worth fell immeasurably over the last 2-3 months.
Yeah, it was. It was a good show, though. I heard that show. I thought it was one of your best ever, personally.
Really?
Yeah, very dark, very... I don't know.
What did we do?
Floyd's first album.
Yeah, it's like Pink Floyd. That's how I felt. A bad acid.
So then I think, okay, he's getting better. And so I tune out for a while, and I come back, and you're talking about headless chickens.
Oh, man.
So I'm thinking, boys, catch him. He's going down again.
Well, and I was warned about this. I was warned about this because this was my favorite story of the last week. And so I was very excited to tell people...
I'm sorry, did you say this was your favorite story of the last week?
Favorite story of the last week was on 60 Minutes last night, Mike the Headless Chicken.
All right.
I really just loved the story and the fact that this chicken, he could still be alive.
I'm not believing it.
You're not believing it?
No.
I'm looking at a picture of him right now.
I don't know what this is. As if this is like some sort of cry for help. But I do not believe the Mike the Headless Chicken story.
You see, I can't, obviously you didn't watch 60 Minutes, and you don't put a lot of credibility in there.
Apparently not. And when I see him on VH1, Behind the Clucking, or something like that, then maybe we can talk.
Behind the Clucking?
I'm sending you a bill.
For what?
For time wasted on the computer. I've looked up every single one of these Mike and the Headless Chicken websites.
Yeah.
The best one I can find is one where he's running for president.
Yeah, well, you gotta go to CBS Sunday morning.
I'm telling a story here.
I'm sorry.
The best photo I can find looks like something out of the Weekly World News.
Yeah, see.
So I hear, you give the CBS news address. Right. So I say, finally, some solid information this man has given me.
Yeah.
I plug it in the old browser there, locks up my computer. You think you're funny? Is this a joke?
No, CBS Sunday morning.
What is going on? Is this some sort of sick game you have?
It's not. I just don't want to take any more grief. What I want to know is people to know is that I told the truth The story is real. The chicken ran around for a year and a half. The farmer made money, and the chicken choked to death in a motel room in Phoenix, not unlike Bob Crane.
I don't know what kind of medication they have you on after your little episodes.
Well,
I think they need to tone it down.
I want you to know, Hecktow, I'm on no medication anymore.
Well, and maybe that could be the problem.
Here, let me... Shut up. Oh, we have to break? Hecktow, you want to hang on for a minute?
Yeah, why not?
Right now, we go back to our caller, Hecktow, who I did not have enough time for prior to the news, and I apologize for that, but I've got a way for you to get... Is your computer still locked up, Hecktow?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, it's been rebooted.
All right.
However, what, you're going to give me something?
Well, I want you to try this with me now.
Okay.
CBS News.
How do you spell that?
CBS News, all one word.
News.
All right.
Got it.
Dot.
Is that the word dot?
No, that's just a dot.
So it's a period.
Period.
Then why do they say dot if it's a period?
Just shut up and do what I'm telling you to do. And then CBS dot again.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I'm reading this website right off. Well, I'm looking at Mike the Headless.
So I got a CBS. I got a news.
CBSnews.cbs.com/
CBSnews.cbs/
No.
Is that a front or a back?
It's the one that leans to the right.
So that would be a...
It's in the bottom right-hand corner of your keyboard.
Got it.
CBSnews.cbs.com/now/story.
Wait a minute. I need another piece of paper.
I thought you were just doing it on your
No, I'm on the
computer.
phone. What do you think I am? Some sort of...
Don't you have 2 lines?
No, I don't have 2 lines.
Oh, man.
I'm, I'm self-employed.
By the way, for those who are wondering why I'm worried about this guy getting this place, is that he has been trying to, and he wants...
CBS News.
Right. .cbs.com.
Front. That's a front /
CBSnews.cbs.com/
.com/
now NOW / story.
Hey, I need another piece of paper. Hang on.
We're trying to get this Mike the Headless Chicken figured out for.
So I got a now, a slash, and a story.
/
Wait, 2 slashes?
Yeah,
I got
now
a slash, a story.
/ after story.
Okay.
Now here we go.
All right.
It's 0, comma,
Got it.
1597, comma, 239251,
Got it.
dash 412, comma, 00 dot SHTML. Now that
that's why I didn't get it. See, when I had the comma,
yeah,
and I had the slashes right, but yeah, there's somewhere in between I got screwed up. So I apologize.
Well, no, the only thing I want is for you to know that I'm not telling a fib or a fabrication.
True. Now, as far as having Fred Sanford as vice president,
Yes.
I'm thinking you could probably use it to some sort of negotiation advantage.
Yes.
So you're in a heated, something about tariffs or something like that.
Right.
And they could say, well, we're really not going to support it. And you say, okay,
we'll give it to you.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
Just I don't want to think. And let me just say, I've been a Winterhawk season ticket holder for 15 years.
You are sad
And
man.
I have put up with your garbage over the radio.
Yeah.
You Fred and Barney battling incoherently about your collegiate football. You're a bunch of lemmings.
No, I'm not.
You just go with the flow.
There's no lemming.
You watch these Neanderthal throwbacks bump into each other for no apparent purpose, and
Hold
you
it.
make me sick.
Hold
that
it.
way. What?
Hi, Barney.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah, because I'm with Hecktow on this one.
Wait a minute.
Am I Barney, though?
You're saying somehow that football is more Neanderthal-like than hockey.
Hockey is a sport of skill.
Hockey is a fight on skates. And
You
it should be.
play football.
It is a game of skill, though. You try taking somebody's teeth out when he's wearing a helmet.
Which sport are we talking about?
Hockey.
Well, I'll never give up on this, but I won't ever give up on you either, Hecktow. So.
Somehow that's not as comforting as I believe it's supposed to be intended.
Yeah, that's right. See ya.
I'm Barney, I guess.
I always hangs up, but did you notice, boys? Here's a skillful caller. Not only did he get in all his swings, but he had an early 1970s TV reference in there. Anybody hear it? I'm coming, Elizabeth. Fred Sanford.
Right.
Referring to Dick Cheney as Fred Sanford. As we all know, one of the character traits of the Fred Sanford was that he was always threatening he was having a heart attack. I was coming, Elizabeth.
I just don't do that well, do I?
No, and I don't think you should.
I am the whitest
boy in the world right now.
Yeah.
I love you. Take me to the moon.
You know,
let me play among the stars.
I still really don't know what song you're talking about.
Let me.
You've got it all. From B. Arthur's Condo, as a matter of fact.
No.
Yes.
Hecktow, are you in B. Arthur's condo right now?
Please, I told him not to put that on the... I don't want that public.
Are you living with B. Arthur?
We're not living together. It's a thing. She's not here right now.
What do you mean it's a thing? I'm shocked and amazed. You know how I feel about B. Arthur.
It's a bit of a business relationship. Look, she had to go out to pick up some Marlboros. She's going to be back soon. I'd like to wrap this up quickly if you don't mind.
I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Yeah, baby.
All right, this is what I'm throwing into the pot.
Okay, for the Betty White telethon, the Mark Johnson Betty White book.
I'm looking through my CD collection.
Okay.
And I will give him George Thorogood live. In fact, if he books anyone named Betty, he can have it.
Okay. George Thorogood live,
yeah.
All right.
You know what it's between, by the way? This is unbelievable. I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
All right.
To the left of George Thorogood is the best of Wayne Newton.
Oh, no!
And to the right is the Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bullocks.
Oh, man.
Neither are what she can have.
I want the best of Wayne Newton. You got to even burn me a cassette of that.
Yeah, all right.
You know how I feel about Wayne Newton.
Well, have you ever seen him?
Never.
I saw him.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, we'll discuss that for another time.
I want to hear the story about you and B. Arthur, but I know that she'll be back soon.
No, I'm not going to talk to him about that. We have Hecktow on the line. He's calling from...
Not B. Arthur's again.
No, the doghouse.
What?
Yes.
The real doghouse?
This is a little awkward.
Yeah, what?
And I apologize for doing this publicly.
Okay.
But I'm going to have to withdraw the offer of the George Thorogood CD.
Why?
A B wasn't... She was listening.
She was listening to... B. Arthur was listening to the show?
And there was some tension, apparently, on the set of The Golden Girls. And...
the relationship with Betty, wasn't that, shall we say...
Who knew?
Oh, yeah.
But at any rate...
you have to take back the offer, though, George Thorogood?
Yeah.
Live album?
And I apologize,
Really, that sucks, Hecktow.
I don't...
Not for me. Oh, see, Mark didn't want it anyway, but I thought as a part of the prize package for the telethon, I thought that was really a great offer.
Well, I'm about one thing and one thing only, and that is, of course, love.
Taking care of your woman.
That's true.
B. Arthur.
But I do apologize.
Well, that's all right. Are you actually in the doghouse?
I am actually at home.
She kicked you out of her condo?
Well, the tension's a little high right now.
Yeah.
But I feel good.
All right. So the ongoing saga, soap opera, really, as it was detailed for us last night, Hector's call.
Yeah.
When he called from B. Arthur's condo.
Yeah. The great
and revealed that he was living with B. Arthur. And she was out to buying another carton of Marlboros. He called quick.
Hey, I know you hate B. Arthur.
Yeah.
She got nominated for Best Guest Actress in a Comedy Show.
Really?
For a guest turn she did on Malcolm in the Middle.
Ooh.
She even did a dance number in the song to Fernando.
Well, I would have appreciated that.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I have some honors that were given me, too. But I don't flaunt them.
You know, I haven't seen B in years, so I was enthralled.
I know. Anyway, the ongoing soap opera now here on the radio show is Hectow's relationship with B. Arthur, and when B finds out that Hecktow calls the show in support of the Book Betty White telethon and gives up B. Arthur's live George Thorogood CD, well, apparently in that condo, all heck broke loose. B went off her nut. Hecktow now back home. Calming tensions, prudent choice. Light me another one, Hecktow. Where's that carton of Marlboros? Oh, I already smoked it.
Is that a Stelgetti on the phone?
I don't want to talk to that old bag. 8:52.
We have to actually take a break.
I know. I just have to tell the people that these are some of my favorite times on the radio. When everything goes to heck and you don't have any choice. You just got to get nutty. And I mean, maybe,
Unfortunately, they have another hour of this, so.
My man Johnson, the radio valet, along as always, and the contributing editor to the program from time to time. The young Hecktow out with the primates tonight on AM 860.
Doggy, how you doing, Ralph? I am feeling so good. I'm so optimistic. I can barely stand myself. You sound good.
I do?
You're broadcasting like a champ. I haven't heard you sound this good in decades.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't tell you how much that means to me.
I can just visualize you. You're surrounded by this wonderful, marvelous broadcast equipment. You're sitting there talking to, you're working the magic. You're like Captain Kirk, really.
I really am.
You're commanding the starship. And, I mean, you get it. You go back in time, Ralph. You get in a time machine. You go back to 1500.
Yeah.
You grab a guy. You throw him back in the time machine. You get him back here in the year 2001.
Yeah.
You got to drive him to the station because he won't have a car. But you put him in front of the microphone, and what is he going to do?
Well,
he's not going to do anything.
He can't do anything. He doesn't know what he's looking at.
He doesn't know how to work the gear.
But I do.
And you do.
Yeah.
And Mark Johnson, how great is that guy?
Well, he's okay.
He's a firecracker, I'll tell you.
He's the radio valet.
And I'm pretty. Don't forget that, I'm pretty.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah.
He actually isn't that attractive of a man, but we like him to live in that delusion. So.
I understand. For Board Monkey, he's pretty good. Schlank.
I'm so careful, and I'm very declamed.
I'm perky, I'm happy, I'm wonderful, I'm
Why?
marvelous.
What's up? Do you have a new love in your life?
No.
Did you make a lot of money? What is it?
No, I'm just, there's just a whole new vibe going on. I'm not sure what it is.
Is it just in... there's Zamfir again.
But I just feel, I don't know, I just have this amazing positive outlook. You know what it is? It's your radio station. It's turned my life around.
How? Tell me how.
It's just, I get a vibe. I swear, it's radiating through the speaker. Who's doing news tonight?
That's Dexter Erickson.
I love Dexter Erickson.
I did too. One of the great guys. Yeah, one of the great guys,
Let me
Dexter.
tell you something. When I want good quality local news,
yeah,
I'm not going to Brokaw.
You're going to Dexter.
I'm going to the Dex man. He's the guy who knows the stuff. He's laying down the funky tracks, and I love him for it.
Hecktow, when it just, you bend me, you shape me. I don't know how you do it. You just knock me out when you bend me and you shape me. You know what I'm saying here?
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, this is a long intro, Ralph.
Yeah, that's all right. We're not going to listen to all of it. It may not even be the inmate. It may just be the music to it.
Here we go.
1, 2.
No, I guess not.
It's a karaoke version of Bend Me, Shape Me. The American Breed. Thank you. Thank you. That was a pretty good cue, Mark. That worked pretty well. And it worked sort of with Hectow's call. Of course, Hecktow played the pan flute for us.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you're going on and on about how cool the radio station is. I sure appreciate that.
That's no problem.
You trying to get in a promo or something?
No, I'm just a happy guy. Why can't I be a happy... this is so typical of you. You sit there behind your little microphone acting all high and mighty. Someone comes in here with some positive energy, and what do? You shoot them down.
Rip them apart.
You're a typical talk show host.
Talk show host.
They should take your license away. They should give it to a guy from the 1500s who knows what he's talking about.
That's right. Hey, yet another sack, at least 3 tonight in Monday Night Football. From Perth, Australia, Hecktow joins us on AM 860. Hecktow?
Brett Farr, wasn't he on MASH? Did he play Klinger?
No. You're thinking of Jamie Farr.
Oh, any relation?
No. It's spelled different. It's Favre. Favre. Oh. It's a French name.
I'm sorry.
Brett Favre.
Go easy on me. I'm not feeling well. A little bit. I don't know.
A little under weather? A little bummed? What is it?
A little feverish. Yeah, I think Downey Jr.
No, Robert Downey Jr.
I used to love his talk show. He's on drugs?
Yeah, no. Well, now, I don't know about Morton Downey Jr., but Robert Downey Jr., the actor.
Oh, his son.
It's not his son. It's actually, I don't believe it's any relation.
But how can... I guess, no, you couldn't have... It would be Jr.
Well, actually, it would be... If it was Morton Downey Jr., it would be Morton Downey the Third. Morton Downey Jr. would have a son. It would be Morton Downey the Third. Robert Downey Jr.'s father was a man named Robert, as it turns out.
So Robert Downey
Jr. busted again for drugs.
Oh, Chaplin,
the man who played... Yeah, recently hired in a role on Ally McBeal.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
He won't be working that show for a while.
I don't know. The fever's getting to me.
I'm thinking 20 years minimum.
20 for drugs? No.
Well, it's like Steve Howe, man. How many times you get busted? You don't know.
Gordie Howe's son?
Oh, God.
Gordie Howe's son is on drugs?
Yes, he is.
The one says, I don't know what to say. I need the NyQuil.
Oh, man, I wanted just to hang up on him. He was driving me batty, I tell you. Batty.
Okay, I would have done it, but Pat got in my way.
Well, an unending budget, and in order to accomplish the goal tonight, we sent our... I'm sorry, Mark? We sent our reporter, our stringer, to Washington, D.C. earlier today so that he could be on the steps of the famed and hallowed Supreme Court of the United States.
He's at the Supreme Court Bar and Grill right now.
He got a voucher for a plane ticket to Washington, D.C.
Well, there you go.
Hecktow, what in the heck are you doing? We sent you back to Washington, D.C. to cover the Supreme Court.
First off, there's no bar at the real Supreme Court, which you failed to tell me, and it is cold out there.
Wait a minute. You weren't there at 10 o'clock Eastern when the decision came down and people were scrambling?
Let me say this. I was there bright early, 11:30 Eastern time, but still.
So what?
So I walked around. I said, "What's going on?" They said, "Nothing." So I said, "Is there a bar around?" They said, "Yeah, Supreme Court Bar Grill, right around the corner. They got a TV."
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
So you've been drinking all day?
Yes. And let me tell you something. It helps.
No, you're right. You're in the backyard pipe. 6-foot pipe.
Did you know?
God, isn't it a great bit?
That you've turned into a boring old man?
Oh, bite me. I have not.
What are we saving you from? Anarchy in the streets of downtown Portland?
No. You're not saving me from anything. I won't be, I may get run over by one of them. What you're not saving me from anything. What you're saving is the potential of harm coming to dippy little teenagers who don't see the forest for the trees.
Oh, please. First off,
you know these people. These kids haven't.
I do know these
brain
people.
Cell
They're
in their
perfectly
head.
fine. I love this. Oh, these kids, they're so scary. And this is coming from, your generation, the generation of the 60s, where you spouted personal freedoms. And you know what I heard from you last week?
What?
You're preaching. You're going off on this rant about how we should turn the world into a utopia for fat guys.
That's right.
How we make the airlines make the seats wider, make the restaurants make this. But at the same, now you're saying, well, we don't want the kids to, to hurt themselves. They shouldn't have the right to move from one place to another with their chosen method of transportation.
No, they should not. Not when there's buses and cars and pedestrians and people that could be harmed. They should not have that right. Absolutely not.
They're not skating in places where they're going to. I mean, why would anyone skate in a crowd of people? They're not going to do it. They're only skating.
Hecktow, please.
They
now.
want the right, and this is not a soccer mom issue. This is an issue for anyone, regardless of any age, to get around however they feel like it. This law, or this whatever it is, does not excuse them from bad behavior, vandalism, doing anything illegal, such as riding illegally in the streets. They would still have to, I believe they are actually allowed on the streets, but they're allowed in bike lanes.
No, they are allowed on streets. That's what Hales wants to do. He wants to open up, quote, downtown streets. That's what it says.
That's fine with me.
All right. So we close it down, buddy. We close down the city to skating. I don't know how much of the city is actually closed down to skating anyway.
Pretty much all of it.
But there's a lot of it going on. So, I mean, what's the argument?
Well, supposedly you can't enforce it because there's so much. But I mean, come on, you're going to ticket a kid $300 for roller skating or for inline skating on the sidewalk? Please.
No.
It's all because the old people, the old men like you, don't like it. It intimidates them. It scares them. But I mean, when you were 15, you were doing the same stuff.
Well, I never did skateboard. I made one, but it broke so quickly. It broke underneath the weight of my body.
I don't know. I see you're turning into the old guy on the corner, sitting on the lawn chair, screaming at passing cars.
Oh, I think
get a muffler.
I think you might have a point. I might be turning into that guy.
I know. I see it. I see it from your generation. These baby boomers.
Yeah.
They just, it was like 2% of your generation actually did the work, spouting personal freedom. The rest of them took credit. Now you're turning into a bunch of fat, old, boring men sitting on the couch, watching football, eating Pop-Tarts, and playing golf. And with that, I say happy holidays.
Okay, bye, Steve. See, we fat old men actually run the world. We own the joint. See, so we actually get the last word.
This is what I got.
Hecktow.
What? I'm here. Hang on. You ready?
Okay.
All right, this is the one throwing the time capsule.
Okay.
I got an 8-track.
Good.
I got a rowing machine. I have an Atari.
Whoa.
And I have a old iron. Doesn't work, but there you go.
But these are all items that would suggest or give us an idea of insight into your life?
No, I just need to get my garage cleaned out.
Oh,
I can't even get the car in anymore.
Don't you get what I was going for?
No. Explain it again.
I just want one item that represents your life.
Oh.
And not the homepage to Hecktow.com.
Well, then, think Dwight James will take this crap? Because I'm serious. I can't even get the car in the garage anymore.
Yeah, well, maybe you want to give Dwight this for Christmas. Is
one thing that represents me.
Yeah. It's very simple. It should be very simple. People should know themselves enough, shouldn't they? Oh, well, jeez.
No, I'm sorry. You got me. This country is in big, big trouble.
I agree with you. So I guess our conversation's over.
Wait a minute. You agree with me?
Yes. I've been hecked.
He may never come back.
Holy mackerel, he couldn't stand it that I agreed with him. Tell me that, anyway, go ahead, man. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm having fun. I've got to finish off this syrup festival deal.
Oh, continue. I'll do that.
Because we only have one more state to cover in the Midwest Syrup Festival. It's just a cacophony of syrup.
I'm sorry, I joined late. This is a Midwest Syrup Festival?
Yes. Yeah, we've covered Iowa, Illinois, Michigan, and now we're going to go to Wisconsin. It's called Tappin' the Sugar Bush. They're in Newburgh. It begins this weekend.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
Tappin' the Sugar Bush. They're in Newburgh. You're invited
leave it alone.
Help drive sap-drawn spikes into more than 300 trees at River Ridge Nature Center and hang buckets.
Sounds like Earth First.
Hang buckets in preparation for the maple sugaring season. So they're really gearing up for that whole maple sugaring out there in the Midwest.
Yeah, well, Wisconsin big on
syrup and cheese, I guess.
I suppose. Yeah.
And then, of course, in Appleton, there's Adopt a Bucket, March 3rd.
Adopt a bucket?
Yeah, family fun includes personalizing a sap bucket. And that's over there at Gordon Bulbowls nature preserve.
Are there phone numbers?
Yeah, I've got all the phone numbers. So if people want to get more information, but the bucket costs you $20.
So are there travel agencies that specialize in these type of tours?
There's at least 12 in town that are that already have it, and it's probably going to be a bus tour rather than a train tour or a plane tour because, well, the planes into some of these towns like Appleton cost you $1 billion to get into.
Yeah, they're all those commuter flights.
Yeah, they're in the Ledgeview Nature Center in Chilton. It's Maple Syrup Sunday. That's Chilton, Wisconsin. April 1st, April Fool's Day. You can celebrate the winter thaw with a day of syrup making, pancake breakfast, music, and a tour of the sugar bush at Ledgeview. Those are the main syrup festivals in the Midwest this winter and early spring.
Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm great.
Aren't you glad you waited?
I'm great. Do you have a feeling that I'm not?
I'm not.
I wanted to read that. I
Ralph,
thought those were great.
I'm concerned.
Why?
Ralph, you've been reading off maple syrup festivals on the air for like 20 minutes.
No, actually, it's only been about 6.
That's not. You're not a well man.
It's not good programming?
I don't know if it's good program. It's scary, is what it is. Can you imagine? You know, it's date night.
I do know it's date night.
There's people out there, and they've had a few drinks or something else, and they're hanging around the house, and they put it on the radio, and they're sitting there going, "What the hell is he talking about?"
That's right. I thought it was important. It's an option. See, I present people with options of things to do.
Yeah. But, some different stuff would be good.
Well, I've been here for 2 hours and 50 minutes almost, so I've been tossing stuff out like a house of fire.
Have you ever been to a maple syrup festival?
I haven't been to a festival. I have indeed, though. They set up in our grade school sort of a phonied up tree where the guy came in and did a demonstration. We got to turn the tap on, the sap came out, he boiled it down and all that stuff. But it was all sort of a mechanical thing. But I have actually consumed the syrup that I boiled down from the sap.
Wow.
I think it was probably 4th grade or something like that.
That's amazing.
So I have some history. This is not just a willy-nilly Johnny-come-lately.
Well, no, you were clearly in your elements. I would say that.
Tell me more. What's up? What's going on with you?
Oh, I don't know. It's just it's kind of a crazy night.
It is kind of a crazy night. Did you know that Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, the Russian head.
Vampire.
He's a vampire.
So says his ex-wife. His ex-wife said in public to the press, "I think he's a vampire."
When was this?
That was just recently. Where is that story? Here it is. From Hamburg, Germany. Ludmilla, wife of Vladimir Putin, thinks he's a vampire. And Putin hates his wife's obsession with horoscopes. The new book, written by Ludmilla's best friend, was appeared this week in the German magazine Der Spiegel. The wife of the German banker based in Hamburg became friends with Ludmilla. The Putins and the family there became close friends. Ludmilla said, "My husband always goes to Finland where he has something important to do. Unfortunately, my husband is a vampire." But she said, Ludmilla did, "But he's just the right man for me. He doesn't drink and he doesn't beat me." That's actually what she said. I'm not making that up.
Did she mean that literally, or is that maybe like a Russian, like in the States, you say, "Hey, you're bad." "Hey, you're a vampire."
You mean like in the culture, maybe they use vampire as something other than a guy who sucks blood out of people?
Something lost in the translation.
Well, certainly that could be the case. I'm not, as you well know, I am not a Russian expert, so I can't tell you that.
Very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were doing the Festivus de Copernicus. We got threatened with a lawsuit.
I heard something about that from Krakow.
Yeah, from Krakow, from the International Committee of the Collegial Copernicus.
What was the penalty?
We're not licensed. They
That
sent
was
us
the
as
offense. What was the penalty?
well. No, they said cease and desist, and we won't prosecute.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing.
Yeah.
Margarine or butter?
For eating?
Yeah. What do you use? Margarine or butter?
Hang on, let me check my fridge.
All right.
Because it's been a while. I'm gonna walk over here.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm not.
We're fine. We're good.
Okay. I want to hold up any collars.
No, there's nothing happening in this program right
All right.
now.
There we go. Open it up. Want Sprite?
Thanks.
Ralph?
Yes.
I got. Oh, jeez. Dropped the phone.
Unbelievable.
I got the original gold. It's soft margarine.
Oh, okay. I used to use that. I'm a butter guy.
Yeah, I think I'd like to be a butter guy too. It's been in there a long time.
Yeah, you never know about margarine. Hey, Hecktow, I'm glad you're the final word on the week.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
This is the greatest call we ever did.
Right. Oh,
Golden Soft is my brand also.
is it really?
Yes.
I used to use Country Crock.